I'm in a video game. Like, literally. My voice, my face, all of the little facial movements that I make, it's just me.
Please, call me Marco.
And the craziest part is, I had to keep it secret for over 4 years.
And you've been hiding it?
What do you expect, Hunter? Something like that could change.
The game is called Mindseye. And yeah, before you rush to the comments, let's just say it had a rough launch. But I want to take you guys behind the scenes and share some of my experiences working on, honestly, one of the most interesting projects of my acting career. So some of you may have already heard about Mindseye. Maybe you saw a meme, unfortunately, or a headline of something. I don't know. Look, I just want to get this out of the way now. Yes, the game had a very rough launch, so to say. No, you're not going to hurt my feelings in the comments. I've heard it all at this point. But if there's anything that I want you to take away from this video today, it's this. I am very proud of the work that I put into this project. And I'm super proud of the whole cast that I worked with, because I know that we put everything into this and gave some really great performances and very interesting characters. So I will stand by that all day. But let's rewind a little bit now. We were still, because technically this is not my first video game. Back in 2002, fresh off of Lizzie McGuire's series, I did a PlayStation 2 video game called Brave, The Search for Spirit Dancer. It follows Brave, who I play, who is on an adventure to save the world, I think.
Am ready.
It goes through a lot of Native American mythology. It's a very fun platforming game. But my whole experience with giving a voice to Brave was honestly just me in a voiceover booth reading lines. When you record as like the player character, they basically just have you do a series of different action grunts. It's like, okay, do a grunt where it's like light damage. Ah! Okay, now medium damage. Ah! All right, now like something's killing you.
Ah! Wake up, you big furball!
That kind of thing. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I never got to play until much, much later. But Mindseye was a completely different experience.
This is my life's work you're talking about.
This was performance capture, which, okay, motion capture is basically when you're wearing the whole suit, right? You got all the dots on you and your character model tracks with your movements. This is a step up from that. It's performance capture, which means that we're wearing a helmet that has an arm that goes around the side, and then in front of you are two cameras pointed at your face that are tracking all of your little facial movements. So everything that you're seeing in the cutscenes of me talking and the other actors talking, that's how our faces moved when we recorded those lines. It's kind of crazy. The suit is basically just a big Velcro onesie that's skin tight. You've got all the dots in the right places. You got shoes with dots on them even. And then on your chest, you have a computer that is basically running the whole camera system and sending it back to a main computer that's recording all of the tracking points. This thing got pretty hot. I mean, it is like a little computer on your chest that's running cameras and stuff. So yeah, they'd have to swap batteries pretty often. And once you're in the suit, they don't really want you to like get out of the suit because they have to calibrate everything at the beginning of the day. So try to do as few bathroom trips as possible because it's a lot of Velcro. The auditioning process is kind of an interesting story because let's take it back to 2019. I had just filmed the reboot of Lizzie McGuire back at the end of 2019, and we were going into 2020 about to film an entire season. Now, that's a whole story for another day, and I was on hold under a contract for over a year. I wasn't able to take any other work. But right when I was released from this contract, basically at the beginning of 2021, Mindseye, I think, was the first thing that I read for. It was just a standard self-tape audition. Jake Dalton.
Mr. S, what can I do for you?
I saw you work on the flats. You've got a mean streak.
Jacob Diaz.
Mr. Silva. What can I do for you?
I saw your work at the Plains. You have got a mean streak.
Nothing was different about it from other projects other than they wanted to see me run. So I just like ran across the screen a little bit. It makes sense because I mean, it's motion capture. They want to know if I can give motion worth capturing. I didn't really know anything about the project other than it was a video game, and the working title was Duck Boy, which I don't know exactly where that came from, but yeah, throughout the entire time filming it, we just referred to it as Duck Boy. And it really wasn't until much later that I actually figured out how big this project was and the people that were involved in it. So I sent in my audition. I ended up doing a Zoom live callback with some of the people attached to it that were in New York and some in the UK. That was very cool. And then I ended up booking it. So then came the next part, the table read. Now, I learned this from my castmate Anjali, who said that really on video games, they don't do table reads very often. So in this project, it was really a blessing to be able to see the entire story and be able to put some context to the character. But because it's a video game, the script is pretty long. It was an all-day event. It's probably over 5 hours of being on Zoom going through this entire script. Pretty cool. I've never had a table read go that long before. The next part of the process was being scanned. So, to scan my face and my body into the game, I had to first rehearse facial movements. They gave me a whole sheet of, I think, maybe 25 to 50 different facial expressions that I had to make and then be able to hold those precise expressions for maybe like 10 seconds as this huge dome of cameras and strobes photographed my face from every possible angle. And I'm talking like facial expressions like, and then like, so yeah, there's just like really high resolution images of my face making all sorts of wacky faces somewhere on a hard drive. And then after the facial scan was done, they then did a full body scan. So I just wore like skin tight clothes and then I had to do a couple poses as they scanned my entire body. After that, over the course of the next 4 years, I would be coming in and out of doing performance capture on a stage volume or doing voiceover for gameplay and walking through like stories of like the phone calls while the character is doing actions.
Listen to me, okay? If this is about what happened at the music festival, we can talk about that later, all right? But this has to stop right now.
But the performance capture part on the volume has to be probably one of the most interesting parts of this whole thing. So we're at a soundstage that is not large by any means. It's definitely one of the smallest stages that I've been on before, but you don't need to have a big stage to do performance capture because that stage or that area can really be anywhere. They're making the environment digitally. So as long as they're capturing your movements within this space, you're good. So you step onto this volume. You've got a bunch of cameras lining the top of the walls everywhere, and those cameras are tracking all of the marker points on your body. Along the sides of the walls, we'd have really big TVs that would give a reference of this is what the entirety of the digital space that we're in right now looks like, and you could actually see our character models in real time moving as we moved, which was fun because literally every time you look at yourself on the screen, you got to do a little dance. It's just fun to watch. The normal process when a scene starts for a cutscene in a video game is everyone starts off in T-pose. It's very precise the way you have to stand, but you have to do a really precise T-pose. And then once they get the T-pose all done, then you can take your first positions. You do the scene, and then at the very end of the scene, you do the T-pose again. One thing that takes a little bit of getting used to is you can't just like pick up a line halfway through. I'm used to that when like TV and film. If we're in the middle of a long scene and maybe I say, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, sorry, I meant to say, "How are they?" Okay, let me take that one back. Let me just take it back real quick. "Hey, how are they?" You continue just like that. You can't do that in video games. Everything is a oneer, so to say.
True wonder, there's no tricks, we're just gonna do it.
You have to get it perfectly from beginning to end. So it felt a little bit like doing a stage play in a way, but there's no pressure because really there's no camera crew. There's, you've got crew that's running the computers and the sound and everything like that, but it's a really small crew compared to the stuff that I've been working on in the past. There's no makeup, there's no lights, there's nothing really pressure-wise to worry about. So it feels very much like you're working kind of like a stage play rehearsal, not even like a real stage play because there's no audience. It's just a rehearsal. And you get to like play out these scenes with the other actors in a really kind of intimate way, and it feels like an acting paradise. There's a lot of imagination work at play. Okay, yeah, I gotta imagine that, all right, there's a sky car over there that's shooting at us. I have to duck down, watch out. Oh, there's a Silvabot over here that's gone crazy. React to that. None of this is actually there. Oh, I've got to get into the Silva car. All right, well, it's really actually just an apple box, some 2x4s, and a light stand. Make sure that you duck down enough so that you don't hit your head on the car door that's not technically physically there, but yeah, a lot of imagination work. And then with the other actors, you have to make sure that when you get up close to the other actors, that your cameras don't bump into each other. But once you get over all of those little things, it was just so enjoyable. Our director, Naveed, he was basically just there, like, with us on the volume, because the cameras don't pick him up. He's not in a suit, but he could be there like, oh, go over here, do it. He'd be miming things, like, to react to, and it was fun. It was really, really fun, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And then over the years, I would come back in at least once or twice a year, and we would do additional scenes, or we'd do a lot of voiceover stuff. And as the years passed by, I feel like got a super great hold of who Marco is, and his character, and just the way that he talks, and is constantly down like this, Jacob, which I had a few days of being in Marco voice when he's a real angry boy.
Yeah! All of my personal data! My financials, everything! I will not let them stop me. I will not let them fucking stop me.
And I can remember kind of trashing my voice a few times. So yeah, I made sure to have lots of tea on hand. Marco is really a character that I've grown to love so much. He was so much fun to play. He's an absolute asshole, but in the best way possible. And he's just hilarious to play. And I really got a kick out of playing him. But during this entire project, 4.5 something years, playing this great character that I love so much, doing this crazy video game project that's so massive and so exciting to be a part of, and I couldn't tell anybody about it because I had an NDA. And, the whole thing is very secretive, especially with the people attached to it. The people who are making and designing this game are people that I have grown up playing video games made by them. One of my favorite games to this day is LA Noire, and quite a few of the people that worked on this game worked on that game, and that's just such a privilege. But even though I couldn't tell anybody about the game, it didn't mean that I couldn't lurk within the fandom. When they launched a Discord server for the game, oh, you better bet I was in there lurking. I would basically just like, oh, hey, you guys excited about the game? Well, what do you think this is going to be about? Oh, what do you think that character is going to be? And then, for my big reveal, the IOI showcase that happened in Los Angeles, I was invited to attend, and I asked people in the Discord, hey guys, do you know if there's any way to go to the showcase? Okay, well, I'm going to see if I can find a way to sneak in. And then the next update I gave, I posted a picture like, guys, I made it in. And everybody was freaking out. And then I told them, wait, I just realized something. I'm Marco Silva. So what's next? Well, since working on Mindseye, I actually have auditioned for a couple other big video games. That's cool because before I never really auditioned for stuff. I guess when you do one performance capture kind of experience, it opens up doors to more performance capture experiences. I would love to do another video game. I would love to do more performance capture stuff. Really, there's no difference between doing this and doing Avatar. It's the same technology. I know the launch of the game was not ideal, but you know what? That's the entertainment industry in a nutshell. I've definitely had my fair share of projects that don't turn out the way exactly I'd wanted them to. That's just how it is sometimes. I think fortunately, with the way that the video game industry works, things can be updated, things can be fixed. So I think there's probably a lot of improvement that can happen to the game over the coming months, which I'm looking forward to. But I have been playing the game with my Twitch community on stream for the past couple weeks, and it's been fun. I've been really getting to enjoy seeing me in the 3D space. That's my ear. Definitely my ear. To those of you who played the game, thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you haven't yet, maybe give it a shot. Updates are coming. Give it a try.
Did you know about it?
Of course I knew about it. I haven't spent the last few years staring at a wall.
Well, why didn't you want to harness it?
I did, but you know what else I factored in? The virus. You'd bring about humanity's final curtain call were it not for me.
Yeah, well, I was hoping we'd find a way around it.
Finding a way around the virus would be like jumping our programming technology forward 1,000 years.
What, you think I couldn't do it?
Did you not hear what he just said?
Everyone always doubts me. Do you have any idea how many times I've heard, oh, that's 1,000 years away. Oh, that's 1,000,000 years away.
No one has ever said that something you created was 1,000,000 years away.
The probability of humanity surviving in the next 1,000,000 years seems, at this rate, very low.
Surviving on Earth? Sure.
And what? Humanity will survive the next 1,000,000 years on Europa under your rule? Living in submarines and glass domes while you are, presumably, in some kind of suspended animation tank?
Well...
You were just about to say yes!
No? Well...
You are absurd. You don't want to discover anything. You just want to be the leader of an entire planet.
Europa is a moon.
It's larger than Pluto. It would probably be considered a planet were it not orbiting Jupiter.
I never thought about it like that.
No.
What?
No petitioning to get its status changed once you are the king.
I didn't say that.
You were thinking it.
Well...